And a very warm welcome along to one of my favourite games of all time. We are going to be playing Banjo Kazooie next on the channel. I thought go back to something that I've not played in quite a few years. Now, if you aren't familiar with Banjo Kazooie, it was kind of the equivalent of Mario 64 on the N64. You had Banjo, you had Mario, they were both very solid games, but I've got to be honest, I always preferred Banjo. I liked the fact that instead of going for 7 individual stars per level and getting kicked out, you could just keep on playing. You could get all 10 jigsaw pieces at once. And of course it does have some very, very British humour in there as well. I'm not going to be reading much of this because it goes far too quickly for my dyslexic brain. However, the gist of the story is that Gruntilda has kidnapped Banjo's sister and is trying to steal her beauty. We're going to meet a bunch of characters along the way. The biggest one we'll meet is Bottles here. He is a mole and he's going to be teaching us our new techniques. Now, this first area is kind of a tutorial area. I've got to be honest, I've played this more times than I care to admit. So we're going to say no to the tutorial and we're just going to get on with the moves and get into our first level together. He's telling us where to go up there in her lair, I suppose. Shaped just like her. Press B if you think you're already good enough. I think we're already good enough, so we'll decline the training. And as we go on through the course of this game, you'll see that Kazooie and Bottles don't have the best of relationships. Now, I've got to try and remember the controls for this game. It's been a while. We get some training vegetables to begin with so that we can learn a little bit more about the controls. Honeycombs refill our health bar. And one of the things we're going to have to pick up are these empty honeycombs. You get 6 of these, and you get an extra health slot. And it just so happens there are 6 out here in the starting area. So we'll get the first one, we'll then beat up that cabbage up there. He'll give us a second one. Strange things already in this Let's Play, aren't there? And we'll take it from there. We're going to try and get through the first level today. It's not a particularly long level. Oh, goodness me, I forget just how awkward the angles can be on this game. It's a very 1990s 3D game. The camera is terrible. We'll be seeing that especially on level 3. But for now, we've got 2 of our honeycombs. I think this is the one where we duck and we beat Barge like that. And the honeycomb is always in the last one of these. Muffins, maybe? There we go. I don't know what they're supposed to be. I've always called them muffins. Right. That's 3 of them. One of them is up a tree, and I can never remember which tree it is. It's that tree over there. We've got another one as well, hiding across a waterfall, so we're going to have to do a little bit of jumping. And then I think the last one's going to be underwater as we head towards the lair. Now, we're not going to be doing any kind of speedrun of this. It's going to be a completely casual 100% playthrough as I mess up my jump. So we're going to be playing it all to completion. I'm going to be trying to complete the levels all at a time, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be trying to 100% a level before moving on to the next one. However, in the midpoint of the game, there are going to be 2 levels. Oh, goodness me. Freeze Easy Peak and Gobi's Valley, where we're going to have to kind of tag team them. Because we're going to need bits from Freeze Easy Peak to defeat Gobi's Valley. And we're going to need bits from Gobi's Valley to defeat Freeze Easy Peak. Let's see, can we get the extra life statue as well? Yes, we can. So now we have 4 lives. Hopefully we won't lose any. I'm sure we will. Just by the pure fact that it's me playing. There's going to be errors in this. I'm not out to be the best gamer ever. I'm just out to have a little bit of fun in these. Let's have a little nosy now. See where the hollow is for our last honeycomb piece before we start making our way into Gruntilda's lair. Of course, it did have to be all the way around. If we'd have gone the other way, if we'd have gone anti-clockwise, we'd have seen it straight away. Let's get in there and do some swimming. Swimming is horrendous in this game. There we go, we've got all 6. And now our health gets another honeycomb added. Let's get out of there and start climbing up the spiral. They call it Spiral Mountain for a reason, and you can definitely see why. 5 minutes to get through that first bit isn't too terrible, though. There's Bottles again. Yes, we're ready to take on the witch. I wonder what way it could be. Is it through the bridge? Oh, Bottles has got some kind of mole entrance, apparently. He might go through the delivery entrance, who knows. Let's get in there. And there we can see Grunty and Tooty. She's shivering in only the way that an N64 character can shiver. I'm playing on the Xbox version, by the way, just so that we can get it in widescreen. And also, it does have a major quality of life upgrade. Because in the N64 version, if you died, you had to recollect all your musical notes. In this version, you get to collect them once, and they're permanently connected. Right, let's move on. There he is, the fun begins. My tricks and traps will see who wins. Here's a jiggy. We need these to open up levels. There are going to be 10 in each level. There are also going to be some dotted around Gruntilda's lair. And this first jiggy means that we can get jiggy with it and go to our first level. Every level will have a corresponding picture to open it up, and the one for here is right next to it. So we need to complete the picture to enter the world. So we'll do that just now. Don't worry, the tutorial doesn't last particularly long. There's only a couple more bits of tutorial after this. There we go. It's not like the more recent installments of any video games where it feels like the tutorial goes on forever. Looking at you, Sun and Moon, for that. That was such an easy fit, the others may just test your wit. Let's get in here. This is level 1. This is Mumbo's Mountain. There are 3 new moves we can learn here. First thing we're going to do, though, is beat that up. And in every level, we're going to have 5 of these characters. They're known as jinjos. Collect all 5, and they will give you a jiggy. Let's think about what we want to do. We probably want to get the moves first. The Talon Trot is going to be the most important. We cannot kill that bull, by the way. The worst we can do is incapacitate him, and he does a fair amount of damage if he hits you. Those beehives do contain honeycombs. So if we need health, we can break a beehive. Every single enemy as well, when you kill it, will drop a honeycomb. Now, it's very important we get to our first move, because this first move is going to make getting around the map a lot easier. There we go. Talon Trot is how we'll be moving throughout most of the game. It's significantly easier to control, and it's quicker, so there's absolutely no point in not Talon Trotting. It also means we can get up steeper surfaces. So now, if we do that, this is how we're going to be moving for most of the game. 10 of us in each world, we know that. Here's our first jiggy. We are 10% of the way through this level. First level's fairly easy when it comes to jiggies. And there's an entrance and exit pad on every single world. So where we come in is where we leave. And we can leave and enter as we please. We're going to need to find a bunch of these Mumbo tokens, because they are going to let us transform into different things. We'll see those as the game progresses. The first transformation is kind of simple, but some of them later on do come in very, very handy. My favourite's in one of the last levels. It's not particularly useful, but I just find it adorable. Oh, this camera's already getting on my nerves. I reckon we go up here and do this one next. It's another jiggy inside Mumbo's skull there. We'll get our third Mumbo token. We need 5, I believe, for this level. And let us get that jiggy. So that's 2 of them. And we'll learn yet another move. The Beak Buster. Jump into the air and then right or left trigger. And Kazooie's beak slams into the ground. It's kind of like the hip drop, the ground pound, whatever you want to call it. And of course that does mean that we're able to break some objects like this. More musical notes. We've already collected just under half of the musical notes for this level. We really are racing through it. We'll need some eggs. That's going to give us another move. Oh, goodness me. Didn't mean to take damage there. The one thing I don't like about this game is the perspective is a little bit awkward. Those eggs, for instance, are just 2D sprites. So it's hard to tell when you're actually on the egg. Another Jinjo there. We still need to get another 3 of those. An extra life. We're not going to complain at that. And this last one should contain a Jiggy. Now, we'll have to come back to that totem pole in a little bit. We need a 3rd move for that. But for now, we're going to do another lap of the level. So for a little bit of context, we started just on that pad in the right-hand corner of the screen. So we've already explored most of this level. Let's get back into the Talon Trot. We'll get all the musical notes while we're here. 50 means we can open up the next door, because not only do you need jiggies to progress, there are barrier doors as well, and the currency for those is the musical notes. So 50 gets us to levels 2 and 3, but we're going to get all 100 every single time, so we've got no need to worry there. Let's have a little look now, shall we? Do we need to go under there? Yes, we do, but we'll also grab this Jinjo at the same time. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Hate swimming in this game. Fortunately, there's only one real water level. There are a few levels that contain bits and pieces of water. There's only one true underwater level. That's level 3. We've got a couple of levels to prepare ourselves for that. Level 8, I think, as well, may be fairly water heavy. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Level 8's actually my favourite level, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Kudos to you if you know what level that is already. We're going to steal an orange. Is it an orange? Yes, it is an orange. And we have Diddy Kong at home. Will give us a Jiggy for that. Will he? Maybe not. Yes, he does. So, how many Jiggies is that? 5. We're halfway through this level already. And here's our last move. We get to vomit and fart eggs. How fun. The ancient ways of the eggs. Hold the right or left trigger, then press Y to shoot an egg out of your mouth. And you can press, I believe it's B, to shoot it out your arse instead. So we can carry up to 100 eggs at any one time. Those egg sprites are actually making me feel a little uncomfortable with how 2D they are, the things you don't notice. Bottles has given us a free 50 eggs to begin with as well. We've learned all the moves. Now, we're going to need to jump better than that, honestly. Let's try that again, shall we? We need to backflip up here. Because we're going to need to grab this Mumbo token. I think there's another one closer by. This is a witch switch. What does a witch switch do? It gives us a Jiggy in the overworld, so in Gruntilda's lair. We're not able to collect that one just yet. We'll get that after we've defeated this level. But now, though, I think we're going to have some beef with a monkey. Is it a monkey? Is it a chimp? I'm not sure. Could be a gorilla. It's some kind of primate. So we have to get an orange on each of these blocks. And we reveal the secrets. There is another Jiggy. However, we're not quite done being the villain to that poor Conga. I feel really bad for Conga. He's technically done nothing wrong. He's just guarding his territory. And there we are, coming in like absolute knobs. Stealing his oranges. Then we're revealing his secret. And now we're just going to beat him up. Also, apologies if you hear any background noise. They're doing construction on my street, and there's not really much I can do about it. Oh, goodness me. I'm starting to question whether we do actually need to beat up Conga here. Yes, yes, we do. Just got my timings a little bit wrong. There are only a few of these mini-boss battles. They started with a few in the early levels, and they seem to give up fairly quickly. We'll grab these honeycombs just to be safe. We did lose a little bit of health there against Conga. And now let's grab these note blocks. Note blocks? We're not in Minecraft. These musical notes on this particular hill. And then, I think we need to get another Mumbo token. We should be good to go. That's the last Jinjo. So that is 8. Racking my brains for what the 9th Jiggy is. Oh, I remember it. Yeah, fairly simple end to this level now. It's not a particularly long level, this one. We're going to be seeing more of those termites later. But now, though, how many Mumbo tokens do we have? We've got 4. We've missed one. Unless it's inside Mumbo's skull. Which is always a possibility. I remember every time I played this game, I forget where the last Mumbo token is. Right, we need one more token. We knew that already, Mumbo. We will, however, get the musical notes. We'll have a double check. In most Mumbo huts, one of the torches isn't lit up, and that means you can climb up and collect something. In this instance, it's just blue eggs. We'll have to leave, and we'll have to figure out where that last token is. I vaguely remember seeing it and thinking we need to pick that up. But goodness me, I can't remember where that was. The trouble with collectathons, you've got so many things that you're always thinking about needing to collect that sometimes you have a bit of a brain fart and you forget one. So we've collected the one over here. There's always the chance, you know, it could be inside here. Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Xbox. I don't particularly care about earning rewards points. Now, we need to jump on this one so we can get the extra honeycomb piece before collecting the Jiggy here. That gives us our last Jiggy on the main part of this level. And now we can go into Mumbo's hut. We'll do the transformation. And we will get transformed into our first alternate character. There we go. We're a termite. Mumbo's happy with the termite. Bit small, but not bad for a first attempt. Now, because we're a termite, we're not actually able to attack anything. So we've got to be a little bit more evasive. And this right here is one of the worst set of jumps in the entire bloody game. No matter how many times I play this game, that jump there, and then there's an even worse jump later, always catch me out. At least they put a bit of a safety net there. We're going to need to try and coax that termite away. There's all 100 notes. So now we can just focus on getting our last jiggy. We'll need our last honeycomb piece. There are 2 in each world. Oh, for God's sakes. And we'll also need to collect that witch switch jiggy as well. The one we saw by the conga. Don't particularly need any more eggs at this point. We'll grab the extra life. You're going to have to wait, kitty. You can hear that in the background. That's my cat. Not quite sure what he wants. He's got free access in and out. He's got food. He's just being a pest. So that's the last jiggy. That's the last honeycomb piece. We can leave here now. And we can make our way towards level number 2, which is going to be in the next episode. We will unlock it today, or at least get close to unlocking it. There we go, there's the witch switch jiggy. And Mumbo's telling us that if we go too far, his magic won't be active anymore. So there is a radius per each level where the transformation will wear off. Now, that was kind of the prologue, as it were. We're going to start making our way deeper and deeper within the lair now. This is a note door. We mentioned that earlier. It's a barrier to ensure that you've done enough in the previous levels. It's fairly simple what you need. The number on the door is how many notes you need to get through, would you believe? We collected all 100 in the first level. We're absolutely fine. Door goes away. We have a little celebration. And now we can make our way deeper and deeper. And the next jigsaw piece, or the next jigsaw puzzle, is right here. So that is Treasure Trove Cove. There's the level opening, but we're not going to play that one today. We're going to play that in the next one. So I really hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, make sure to leave a like. If you've got any feedback, leave it in the comments down below. And until next time, I'll say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in a couple of days.